All right, everybody. We are here. We are live. And thank you guys for tuning in now on the replay. But we are here to talk about building your business credit, building your business profile, really just about building your business. Now, those of you who do follow me or in my group, you know that one of the things we talk about is taking your business to the next level. Well, part of taking your business to the next level is actually building a real business and not just your computer on your desktop or sitting in the kitchen or whatever. There's a lot of things behind it. As you guys know, I'm always telling you that you have to be more than just a travel agent. You have to be the marketing, the advertisement. You got to deal with taxes. You got to do these different things. But you know what? I'm not an expert in everything, So I figured, let me go find some experts to come teach both of us some things that we need. Now, guys, as you coming in, I want you to make sure that you are checking in, comment below, let us know where you are checking in from, and put your questions down at the bottom so we can go ahead and get them answered. But let me go ahead and introduce our guest. Her name is, and I hope I say this right, Ms Veronica Amaro. Did I say that right?
That's right.
All right. Now, so she's going to help us with all this information. Now, she is a business consultant, IT software engineer, and a healthcare administrator with 30 years of experience. With her knowledge and corporate job experiences, she has started multiple businesses, which is great for you guys because she could tell you what to do from the ground up. Now, she has done from healthcare groups to property investments. She has helped entrepreneurs and small businesses not only just launch, but relaunch, which is what some of you guys are doing, and even rebrand, which is something some of you guys need to do as well. Now, her skills range from building business structures such as LLCs and C Corps to technology services, financial literacy, and digital marketing, which is something we're going to touch because I know that's something you guys need as well. Now, she also finds a way to do all of this, guys, while she is a mother. She is a mother of 2 kids, right?
3.
3 kids.
Well, I have two little ones at home, but I have an adult daughter and a grandson.
Okay, 2 little ones and an adult one. And then she's going to also show you how you can do a lot of this through automation, which is something, guys, that we've been talking a lot about, automating our businesses. So first, I want to go ahead and welcome you and thank you for being here. We have people from Dallas, Baltimore, New Jersey, Monroe, Louisiana, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania right now. So thank you for being here because you could have been anywhere else.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure. I love helping others expand their businesses, and so I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So, guys, we did some prep talk about some of the things that we should be discussing and what should be going on. But first thing we're going to talk about is what is business credit and how does that apply to somebody who has a home-based business?
So, business credit is, if you want to think of it as when you go and purchase a vehicle, let's just use a vehicle for an example. You go and purchase a vehicle for your business. You don't want to use your personal credit to buy or purchase that vehicle because you're using it for business purposes. So you want to be able to go into a dealership and use your business credit to purchase that vehicle. So in order to do that, though, you have to, there are steps that get you to where your business is now, eligible for business credit. Just like your personal credit, it takes time for you to build it. It's not an overnight thing. You don't just immediately go and get what you need. So business credit is the same way. There are steps that you have to take. Your personal credit does make a difference as far as how fast you can get business credit. But again, that's really not an issue if you're going to go, if you have the patience, the time, the data, the information that you need to in order to build the business credit.
So when somebody is thinking about business credit, how early should they start going down the journey for business credit? Like, should this something that is there like a time frame, a limit, a certain amount of income they should be making before they start that?
You can start business credit within 90 days of building your business. So there are ways. There's different tiers of business credit. There's one business credit tier number 1, which is you're making small purchases. You're actually building the numbers to your business, and then you're going to get through those tiers up to the final tier, which is where you can actually make big purchases. If you were in the logistics industry, you'd go out and get an 18-wheeler In this case, you could use it for inventory, you could use it for a computer, you can use it for several things that you need in order for you to be productive in your business. So there are different tiers that you have to take, and there are different ways to get there. So if you have a 700 credit score in your personal credit, 700 and above, then that you can use as leverage to go out and get business credit immediately. What they call that is a PG. So you're using your personal credit as a personal guarantor towards your business credit. But again, you have to have a very clean and nice credit report of a 700, which, by the way, I also have a credit repair business. So we can get you there. We actually have, the reason why I have a credit repair business is to assist my clients to be able to go out and get business credit a lot faster if that's something that they're wanting to do.
Okay. Well, somebody asked, and I had asked them to give me questions, and one of the questions they said was, they have their LLC already. What would be their next step of establishing business credit?
You want to make sure that your LLC is established appropriately for business credit. So depending on what you're going to go do with your business, you want to make sure that, number one, your business does not have a PO box or is not listed at your home. In order for you to qualify for business credit, that doesn't look at your personal credit, then you're going to want to have an established business with a business address. If you already have your established LLC, it's a very simple step. You get the business address that you need. You can use a virtual address mailbox like Opus. There's several others that you can also use. They're usually like $99 a month. An investment that will eventually come back to you when you have your business credit. So it's a great investment to have. But you would need to update your LLC with your new business credit, and make sure that you also have a business phone number that's not your personal phone number. Again, the Opus and several other businesses provide that for you. You want to go out and get a business phone number for that, just for that purpose. You want to have a business website. You want to have a professional email. So your email would be, ALVIP.com, which is my business, my main business email. Veronica at ALVIP.com. So you don't want to use Google, Yahoo, definitely not AOL. It's so old, but you'd want to always look professional, because when you go in and you're going to want to ask for an approval for a business credit, or you for inventory, for whatever, you want to look as professional as possible, because they are going to look you up.
Okay. So somebody asked this question here. Must you have an LLC to even get started with all of this?
It depends on what you're looking to do. So if you're looking to get business credit, most lenders do want you to know that you have an LLC. They do require that you have an LLC. You can go get business credit with the DBA. Again, then you're going to be using your personal information as leverage for it. So it will go onto your personal credit report. If you want to avoid all of that, then you should go get an LLC. An LLC in Texas is $300. I'm not sure about in other states, but it's so well worth to have, especially because an LLC is not really, it doesn't determine a lot about your business. What it does is protection for your assets. So an LLC, what you're doing is you're making your business its own entity. So it's becoming its own person. Your travel agency is now not connected to Sam Williams. Now it's Williams Industries, but it's not connected to you personally. So if you have a lawsuit or someone coming after Williams Travel Industry, then they can't come to your personal assets.
Okay. Now, one of the things you mentioned was about getting a virtual address and getting a virtual phone number. So somebody wanted to know, can you use the Google numbers?
Yeah, you can use a Google number as long as it's a professional number. So Google Voice is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Just when you answer, just make sure you answer professionally. Because if a bank is calling to confirm that you're a legitimate business, you want to make sure that your Google number is listed as a business, and that they're call when they call, you're going to answer professionally. I personally wouldn't use Google Voice because it's so unpredictable.
It
Um,
has gotten a lot worse lately.
it has so many flaws. It drops a lot. I just prefer not to use it. These places that provide you the business address also have the option for a phone number. And what it does is it just sends the phone number and the text. It sends the calls and the text to your personal phone, but it tells you where they're coming from, so you can answer professionally.
Yeah, but what I've noticed lately with Google Voice is that somebody could send me a text message. I'll get a notification one time and then the notification is gone. So if I don't immediately open it, I totally forget that the message is there. Or if I don't even see it, it's totally gone. Now, what are some of the things that you need in order to get an LLC? Like
Let me
documents?
let me go
Oh,
back
go
to
ahead.
the phone number real quick, just real quick, because I just came up. So if you use your Google number, yeah, you're fine using it, but I would recommend to use like especially for the travel industry, an 888 number, an 800 number, something that's not local for you, because you're trying to reach people outside of your
Hmm.
community. So I would suggest go with an 800 or an 888 number, which is again provided by these. I think it's like $10 extra a month if you choose to do that through these companies that provide you the business address as well.
Okay, well, that's good to know. 'Cause that's something that I want to change my Google number. I'm actually thinking about getting a whole separate phone line, another phone, and putting a Google number on it because everyone thinks I live in West Virginia when they call me, and I'm
Yeah,
like, nope, I don't even know how to get there.
yeah.
So, so this is a question because it's something that we've talked about. Mia wants to know how does she get a credit card that does not ask for SSN, but that goes back to having an EIN with your business, correct?
Correct, correct. So if you when you register your LLC, you also want, or DBA, you want to register your business through sos.gov, which is the IRS, or excuse me, irs.gov, which is going to give you an EIN. An EIN number replaces your social. So because your business is its own entity, entity meaning its own person, its own, it's, so I like to think of it as a person. It's going to get its own social, which in business terms would be the EIN. So, or tax ID number, those are the terms that they're used. So when you build business credit, that is when they don't go through your social, they're going to use the EIN number.
Okay. And so we have a lot of questions rolling in. So go right to the questions. I think it's going to follow. Just Love from YouTube asks, is it okay to have a travel name for your LLC? Basically, like if you're saying Just Love Travel or something like that.
There are some businesses that are high risk for business credit. So, in other words, banks, lenders, and it doesn't have to be a bank, guys. You could go through a fintech for business credit. It could be American Express. It could be a credit card. It doesn't have to be money. It could very well be a line of credit. So, a lot of these businesses prefer that you're not a high risk business. One of them being real estate. Travel, I'll have to get back to you. I'll have to circle back to you on that. But I believe that that is one as well. So when you're building your LLC, there is an area where it's going to ask you for an NAIC number. And that's where that travel or real estate or credit repair or whatever it is that you're doing, you got to make sure that you don't use those names or those NAIC numbers in registration, because that marks it a red flag. It also will mark it a red flag not only at lenders, but also if you're going to use a merchant account, for example, Swipe or PayPal or any of these, or if you're going to use a merchant account, an actual credit card account processing processor, they also look at that as high risk, and they don't allow it in their processing terms.
So a lot of questions coming up is about that virtual address. I knew that was going to be it. A lot of people are asking, can they have a PO box, and where should they go to get a virtual address and phone number from? And if I already have an LLC, how hard is it to change it from my residential to a virtual address? So I guess we should talk about this virtual address a little bit more and the process to getting it, because I have to do it myself. And to be honest with you, based off of what you're telling me, I'm probably just going to call you because you're telling me stuff to do. And I'm just like, oh, just going to call
That's
Veronica.
what I'm here for. But I can also give you the steps and you can just do it yourself. So what you want to do is, it's very simple. You do want to, if you've already got your LLC, you want to go back into irs.gov, or I'm sorry, the website where you got the LLC from. SOS. I don't have it in front of me right now, but we'll put it out there for you guys. I'll give Tisha the list, and you guys can go out there. But what you want to do is you want to first go out and get your business address from Opus is one of them. I'll send you a list of Opus. It's just who I use because they're so easy to use. And so, but there's other providers out there. You want to go back into the website where you got your LLC. You want to make the update there. It's just an addendum. So all you're telling them is, hey, we moved or we changed our address. You do not want to have a PO box. The lenders want to make sure that you are a legitimate business. So they don't want to, they want to make sure that you're not a PO box. So no PO boxes.
Yeah, that question came up a few times. And just for recap, if you have an EIN, your EIN is for your business. So that connects to everything you do with your business, whether it's business credit, your address, your LLC. That is your business social security number. So even if you have an EIN, it's not being created just for your credit. Because I've had an EIN for several years, for several businesses, to be honest with you. I've had the EIN because I used to work for the IRS, and they was like, oh, EIN takes 5 minutes. I could do it in 3. And I went on the website and did it really quickly. But somebody wants to know, with an EIN, does the creditor review your personal credit when establishing business credit for the first time? Now, guys, I want you to understand, when you guys keep thinking you're establishing business credit, I'm wondering if you think that this means that you're going out there and just like spending money randomly on stuff. Business credit is very similar, in my opinion, to personal credit. It's something, like she said, is going to take time. You're going to be building slowly. And yes, as she said earlier, they may look at your personal depending on how you set this up. So this is all going to vary state to state in certain aspects, with certain things you may have to do in the beginning, because as we see, we have everybody from the East Coast to West Coast to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Everything's going to be slightly different. But one of the first things I could definitely tell you is you need to get an EIN. If you don't have an EIN, that is your homework for this week. Everyone get your EIN and let me know that you've done it, right? But in some cases, like she said earlier, they may not. It just depends on how on how your LLC and how everything is set up, correct?
Yes, if you're going to go out, first of all, if you're going to go out and get your EIN and you plan to have an LLC, you got to get your LLC first.
Okay. So flip what I said. Don't do that then.
because you want to make sure that your EIN and your LLC are attached. So, and then to answer the question about business credit, it depends. So if you properly establish your LLC, your EIN with with all the data points that I went over, which are your business virtual address, your phone number, or it could be a brick and mortar. I mean, if you guys have a brick and mortar address to use that is listed as a business, then you can do that. So if I, for example, I have multiple businesses, but they're all of my businesses are at home because I do virtual businesses. My business is virtual. But I have a friend who does taxes as well, and she does real estate, and she has an office. So she can use that business brick and mortar office address for any other business that she builds. So if you have a friend that allows you to use her business, just remember, if it ever changes, you have to go back, pay a small fee. I think the small fee is like maybe $40 to update the address. But anyway, so if you do not want your personal credit to be reviewed during this process, and you want to make sure that you have all the data points, that you have established the first tier of business credit, which means that you're going to establish yourself with small vendors first for paper clips, for paper, for a small computer, just really small vendors, Sam's Club. There's a list of vendors that you want to establish yourself with. And then you move on to the next tier, which is, you're going to be establishing yourself with bigger vendors. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you have a number, a specific number, paydex number is what it's called. Like a FICO score, businesses have a paydex number. When you have an 80 paydex, then they don't look at your personal stuff anymore. So you want to establish your business, get yourself to an 80 paydex, and then your personal stuff doesn't matter. If you have, like I said, if you have great personal credit, 700 and above, and you want to go out and get business credit, that you can do. And they will look at your personal credit. They'll look at it as leverage, and they'll be like, oh, this, Veronica has great credit. We can trust her with a car in her business name. So they'll do that. They will do that. But you have to have excellent personal credit.
Well, guys, if you have personal credit, you're one step ahead. So somebody wants to know, does your virtual address have to be in the same state that you live in?
Your virtual address should be in the state where you want to establish your LLC.
So basically, it should be the state that you live in. So if you live in Texas and you're getting an LLC in Texas, your address should be in Texas.
You don't have to have your LLC in the same state, though. So I could have an LLC. The state of Oklahoma charges $150, I believe, and I think California right now is waiving their fees.
They are. I did read that.
So you can actually go use a virtual address in California, establish your LLC in California, pay nothing out of pocket other than your business virtual address, and your business is located in California. You're going to pay your taxes and everything pertaining to wherever you have your business established, but you're virtual, so it doesn't matter where you are located.
So basically understand that if you establish your business in another state than where you live, that is an added level of taxes you now have to do. So you can't file taxes. Well, Texas doesn't quite have state taxes, but let's just pretend. You can't file state taxes for Texas if your business is in Cali. You now have to know the rules of filing in California. So it's going to be a little bit different. But it's up to you guys what you want to do. Hey, it's your business, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm not pushing Cali, but Cali right now is really lenient because
they are waiving it. I did read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody asked, so if they have a virtual address, and with us being travel professionals, we have to give our addresses sometimes to our vendors in case they want to mail us something. They want to know, do they have to give the virtual address? But I'm thinking no, because one would be the business address and one would be the mailing address.
Correct. Yeah, you can keep your mailing address the way it is. You can do what you want with your vendors. I mean, if they're mailing something to you, that's perfectly fine. But these virtual business locations do forward your mail to you.
Okay.
So that's a great asset to have. Anything that comes to them, they'll forward over to you.
Okay. Now, you talked about the first tier, the creditors, and they want to know the creditors, who they should establish themselves initially. And when she said Staples and laptops and Costco's, we're talking Staples and Office Depot and Costco's and Sam's Club. A lot of businesses, you may not be looking at it, but a lot of businesses have a whole section for business owners that you can go, because you can go to Sam's Club and get a Sam's Club business membership, which is different than a regular membership. So a lot of these places that you go to, they have a totally different thing. I used to work for the FDA. So I would do my purchases from a business side. So I had a whole different website, a whole different book they would send me every month with the same stuff. But it's totally different. Building your credit is, I'm telling you guys, some of you are overthinking it. It is really no different than, it's basically, put it this way, it's going to Amazon to purchase a laptop or Amazon Business to purchase a laptop. And of course, using your business account, which I'm starting to do, but I'm realizing after this conversation, I'm missing steps 1, 2, 4, 9. But I did start making my business purchases on the Amazon business side. So it's nothing that you got to do anything specific or certain companies you have to go to. But once correct me if I'm wrong, but Once you get yourself set up with the LLC, the EIN, your business account, you just start making purchases for your company. And it doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to be doing $5,000. It could be a whole box of paper for your printer. It's just business supplies and things that you need. Now, guys, do not go and get a business account and start putting all of your travel trips on it. Okay.
Right.
That may not fly because they will ask you, what did you mean you had to go to Bermuda for 7 days? Like, what did you do? So
So
be careful about that part.
I keep pushing Opus. Again, I'm not getting paid by them. I just use them a lot. So Opus is another business credit option, because if you open your business address with Opus, they report to all three credit bureaus for your business. So as long as you're make sure you're paying everything on time. As long as you're paying on time, there you start creating a business credit report with Opus as they're submitting your information to all three credit bureaus. So anybody that I refer you to is going to give you that option. I won't make any referrals to businesses that are not going to give you any type of business credit.
So, guys, she's giving you some amazing, amazing information. I just Googled the Opus website, and I just posted it into the chat. Guys, understand Google is your friend because I didn't know how to spell Opus and I misspelled it twice. But I do, I do have the link, and I went ahead and I shared it in the chat. I'll make sure that it gets into, because again we're on three different streams actually, but don't overthink this, guys. Don't overthink this, and everything will go great. I'm looking to see if we have any more
I see
questions.
Shelly has a comment. She said, yeah, Shelly says she has a virtual address with the iPostal, paid for it for a full year. Perfect. So Shelly, the only thing that I would suggest is, and I wouldn't want you to change it now if you already have your address, but if you're to establish a new business, call iPostal and find out if they report it to all three credit bureaus, because then you're really paying them to just give you the business address, where there are other Opus, who does create that option for you to submit the information to the three credit bureaus for your paychecks.
Awesome.
That's super easy to use.
So we have one last question before we move into some other things that we were talking about. They just want to know if you could quickly recap the steps. Now, guys, I will post her website soon, and you can go to her website and she will help you by getting you contacted and connected with the right people to do what it is that you need. But can you please recap the order of the actions to setting up a business?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, if you guys send me an email, I will be more than glad to send you and use just a blurb of the steps, so that way, and it has links on there so that you guys can go out there and do that. Send me an email to Veronica at ellavip.com, ELLAVIP.com.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to put that in the private chat so I can put that into the big chat, because
do that.
they're gonna start asking me, can you repeat that? And I guarantee you're gonna get probably about 20 emails tonight.
Oh, we're good. I have it already set up and ready to go. I just need to shoot it out to you guys. I should have put it out here, but I didn't think of it. So the steps to get this done is, number one, you want to make sure you have a business address. Whenever you get your business address, the place where you get it, usually you can also get your business phone number. So you want to make sure you have a professional business address, a professional phone number. You also want to have a professional email address and a website. Okay. Once you have that, and before you do any of this though, you want to make sure that your name is available. So you're going to go out to irs.gov, and you want to make sure that your name is available. So that way, whenever you register your name, you don't already have everything else listed with the wrong name if it's not available. And then you want to go out and get your LLC. Your LLC, depending on what state you're getting in, that's what it's going to cost you. I know Texas is $300. It's really one of the best investments that you can make. You want to then get your EIN. When you get your EIN, it's going to ask you if you are an LLC, When you get your EIN, you're going to connect it to your LLC. You got to make sure that that is together. Going back to the LLC, that you're going to have an NAIC number. That number is what we spoke about in regards to the businesses that are restricted or that are high risk. If I don't know if travel is one of them, I'll have to go. I'll have to circle back, get back to you guys. I'll get back to Tisha about it, and we can update you. But you want to make sure that you choose a right NAIC number. My personal advice is there's one in there that says management consulting, business management. That's pretty broad, so that's okay to use. And if travel um, is a high risk, then maybe I would maybe not add it on there on the name because it's going to cause a red flag. And I think one of our commenters, Shelly, mentioned that she was flagged as a red flag for it. So that's just some personal advice. The next step is you want to make sure that you have that you start your business credit. So if you've already got all those things in place, then you want to go ahead and start. Well, you want to register with Duns and Bradstreet. Duns and Bradstreet is who reports your business credit paydex number, which is like FICO. So you want to also register with them. And I mean, you're in the travel industry. There are people in the government that may need assistance. There might be a government contract looking for travel agents. So you may want to register yourself as well in sam.gov. So that way they can also, you can have that ability. And then you want to
That's a
start your
good
business
thing.
after that.
That's actually a good thing because I do remember when I working for grants and stuff,
Mhm.
I had to use that Sam's site to verify the different companies that was trying to work with us
Mhm.
or have services and or grants. We have to make sure that they weren't being flagged for any inappropriate or whatever issues with other companies and stuff like that. So I am definitely familiar with that. As you can see in the chats, I am putting in some of the links of where I'm doing my Google search because Google is your best friend to get this information. Now, some of the other things that we wanted to touch on because she mentioned something that she does, and we're going to have a totally separate conversation about this, guys. But they also do SEO and social media marketing. So let's talk about the services you have around that and why is it important to have that.
Super important. Let me go back real quick
Okay.
to the other what we were just talking about. So um, you brought up government, or you brought up grants. It's really important to have your business registered if you're wanting to go out and get grants as well. The SBA is great if you want to put SBA.com out there. Right now is the beginning of the year, so you have tons of grants that are out there for minorities, for women, for small business owners, for just about anything, for single moms, for dads that, whatever, for military vets. There's so many business grants out there that you should take advantage of, but you got to make sure that your business is established in order to do that. You do have to remember also when you get a grant or when you get a loan, make sure we also provide bookkeeping and tax advice. So I have a plethora of businesses, but you want to make sure you always keep your information, your bookkeeping. Okay, so QuickBooks, Wave. There's so many free options out there if you don't want to pay. Of course, it's more manual. It's not so automated, but you have to keep track of. You got your business established now. Now let's go ahead and keep track of all the receipts of everything that we do so that we can use that as proof whenever we run our taxes at the end of the year. And if we ever get audited, hey, no big deal. I have all of my things in order. So that takes me to what Tisha just mentioned, which is we not only do bookkeeping as well as tax advice. We also do digital marketing, SEO, websites. We take you through that whole process. We do it all for you. It's basically business in a box, if you think of it that way. So If you're looking at, you know what, I don't have time for all of this, Veronica, it's too much information. We provide business in a box for you. So we kind of put it all together for you and just hand it over. Here you go. Here's your travel business. Take it and run. This is what you got to do now. Just make sure you do your part. So we do provide SEO, digital marketing. We provide social media marketing as well. It's just so important that you get your name out there. It's so important. The competition is crazy,
Mm.
but there's room for all of us. You just have to get yourself out there. Make sure that you understand who you're targeting, what niche it is, what group of people that you are targeting. Many of us will target a specific group. I know some travel agents that only do Disney. They only advertise Disney all year long, but they get contacted for everything else. I have travel agents that are doing wedding and events, so that's all they're targeting, but they bring in business for everything else. Or, graduations, high school, college graduations, whatever it is, family reunions. I mean, get informed on what is needed, because in a business we provide, we're problem fixers. We provide the resolution to the problem. So if the problem is, this mom has a bunch of kids, she works full time, and now she, wants to send her daughter and her friends on a vacation after they graduated college, and she doesn't have time for all that. So if that's what you want to market to, make sure that you market to that type of group. Get yourself into the social media groups that have that type of demographic, and go from there. So
Yeah, so I know for me, my demographic is really leaning towards luxury travel. My background is more of like culture and the cuisine of travel. So, you learn about the culture through your taste buds. But I'm focusing more on luxury level travel, and I'm really trying to get into more of the semi-escorted vacations, going to the Asian countries like Japan, China, India, Thailand, all of that. That's where I'm trying to focus me. I know everyone has something different that they're trying to focus on and get out there to. So guys, she has everything you need. She has connections to everything that you need. And guys, understand, you're going to have to put money out to get money in. You cannot run a business without spending some money at all.
mhm.
So understand that. So does anyone have any last minute questions before we go ahead? Oh, we got one. This is a good one because many of us are in multiple businesses.
That's me. That is me. I totally have so many businesses. The only business I think I don't have is travel. No ideas, y'all. You can't recruit me. Maybe. Um,
I
so,
get first dibs.
so how do you market yourself when you have multiple businesses? All of my businesses go hand in hand, obviously. But I do have, each of my businesses has its own LLC. Each of my businesses has its own page in social media, its own website. But in social media, for me, I'm all about my business. I will post some things that pertain to my children, or something that's going on that's really, crazy or inspirational stuff, because I love to inspire other people to just get out there and live their life and do what their passion is, and live happily ever after today. So if you guys want to go ahead and find me on Facebook, I'll put my Facebook info on there as well. But you want to, if you have multiple businesses, you want to go ahead and either make time yourself to market that specific business to those groups. You have to have a business plan for each business. You can't just throw it like spaghetti and see what hits. You have to have a business plan. You have to have a marketing plan for each of your businesses. And my recommendation is your personal, if you're really serious about doing business, is make your personal social media page more about your businesses than about having a great time on the weekend, because people are looking at you, people want to be like you. And whether that business is travel or whatever else it is, include it. But you need to have its own. They need to have their own. They're their own people. They're their own entity. They need to have their own personality. So that would be my advice.
Yeah. Like that's what I've been trying to tell them. Like, because I know at one point the mantra was that you need a separate business page for every single one. But I've learned with the algorithm changing and the way that they've redone it, people don't see stuff on your business page unless they like and follow your business page.
Right.
So you can have great content, but nobody is seeing it. And I know for me, I stopped getting a lot of, even though I have a lot of people following it, I don't get as much engagement. I can do the same post on my personal page as on my business page, and I get more engagement on my personal page.
Right, right. So your personal page, once you get to a certain amount of friends, you can also change it to professional. So now you're a professional out in the social media world, and people are looking at you as a content creator, professional marketer. So they're not looking at you as Veronica Amaro, JJ's mom. They're looking at you as Veronica Amaro, this business consultant, and they're contacting me, and I'm getting business from that from people that I don't know, because I put content out there. So content, reels, all of that is so important, so important. I get most of my business from Facebook because my demographic is a lot of, well, I'm older, so I don't use TikTok very much. My kids are the ones that use TikTok. But I know that you can use TikTok for social media. I do have marketers on my team that do use TikTok for you. They use Instagram. I personally, my business, I do mostly on Facebook, and I'm doing really good on that.
Yeah, so someone just asked to use content creators. Yeah, she has a whole team that does stuff like this. It's business in a box. I was like, if you fit it in the box, they probably have something there for you. But honestly, I would tell you, in my opinion, it's great to have someone to create your content, but you still need to create your own content because they're not going to know what to create if you're not first giving them an idea and showing them what you want. Because I don't believe in that cookie cutter posting for a lot of, especially in the travel world. I really feel that it should be unique to who you're trying to target to, who your market is, where in your industry you are, because like I'm not going to post the same kind of travel content that somebody who's all into romance. We're going to have two separate things, but there may be occasions that we're like, okay, this is both a great sale, this is both a great location. We both may post it, but with different intentions.
Right. You want to make sure that you make it personal. So whoever you are marketing to, you want to make sure that it's going to touch them. They're going to feel like, oh, this is for me. This is going to solve my problem. So whether it's cookie cutter content, you may want to pay for cookie cutter content just to throw it out there and make yourself known, get that algorithm going. But make sure that when you are doing that, and I'm gonna say this, you have to have content 5 to 10 times a day. I mean, yes, it seems incredibly tedious, but do one day, take one day a week and put all your content out there, put it all together. You have a scheduler, you have a calendar in your social media back office where you can schedule your content and tell it when you want it to be sent out. So take one day. I mean, you have to, not investment isn't just money. When you want to build a business and you want to be successful, you're going to invest money, yes, and it's going to come back. It will. You're going to invest time. Time is so important. So if you are working a full-time job, don't be like the mediocre person and just go sit in front of the TV for the next 6 hours after you get off of work. Work on your business, because if you're not working on your business, then you're not progressing. Don't be mediocre, people. Don't be mediocre.
We want you guys to be elite and go to the next level.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
You've given us a lot of information. You're going to get a whole lot of emails. You might get a couple of phone calls. For those who are watching, this is being live streamed on YouTube, my YouTube channel, my LinkedIn page, and inside of the group. So you guys can go back and watch it anytime you want. And I'm also going to be putting this on my podcast that I am building as well to put this out there for other people. I hope you've learned a lot. Someone said learning to schedule the content, because that's a lot to post. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna tell you my trick. I wake up earlier than I need to post. Honestly, I do my morning post, my lunchtime post, my dinner post. And then I also have a scheduler that is running cycles. Like right now, I'm really promoting Virgin Voyages. So I have about 10 posts that I've set up that are on cycle for the next, I think I still got about 4 more weeks, that is rotating through all of my Facebook groups, all of my business pages. It's not rotating on IG because I want to put too many photos and IG don't like it when I do it, but it's automatically posting different information that I want them to see. So understand that when you're putting information out, you may have to put the same thing out several different times. Posting content could be, good morning, how are you doing today? Where would you have rather woken up? What would be your view right now if money wasn't an option? What is on your travel bucket list? Content doesn't always have to be a sale. It doesn't need to be a flyer from a company. It doesn't have to be a deal from this supplier. It could be you interacting with your clients or your future clients. That's really what it could be about, because people will buy from you, not necessarily your name, but they want to build a relationship. I have people who book with me because they built a relationship with me through the social media that I didn't know we had, just because they've been following the things that I do. So if you're about romance, then your page should be about romance. Like we have somebody, I believe he is watching now, Mr. Crawford. We call him Mr. Romance. And he books a lot of romance trips and couples and vacations. But if you look at his timeline, it is about him taking care of his family, taking care of his wife, his mother-in-laws, his mother. So it's not just travel and being healthy, it's also him showing how he loves on his own family. So people really take him seriously when he's like, look, I'm gonna show you how to have that really good romantic vacation on that private island, because he probably could do the private island. So it's out this.
I see a question. What do y'all use to schedule your post ahead of time? Facebook, Instagram has a calendar in the back office. It's called the Meta Business area.
Yeah.
You can also do it out of somebody posted GoDaddy. They're using GoDaddy. You can use GoDaddy to do that. There is another thing called Now Site that does it for you. If you
I use Hello Woofy.
There's that. And Canva, if you are on Canva, if you have a paid Canva subscription and you're creating your own content, you can shoot it from Canva. I mean, it's, if you just make the time to learn some of these things, you'll see how easy it is. And one thing I suggest, I'm all IT, but hey, I still use my notebook to write things down, to remind myself. I have a calendar on my computer, and I use my notebook all the time, just to remind myself that, you know, these are the things that I got to do. These are the steps that I got to take. I do have a business planner. Part of the business planner is what I'll shoot to you guys with the content information for business credit. So, I mean, you really need to invest time, really important, and the money behind your business, and you'll see that your business will grow. Like I said, like for example, credit repair. Oh my God, how many people do you see out on social media doing credit repair? But that doesn't stop me. I'm still very successful because my marketing is towards. I also work with real estate agents, so that's, if you go on my page, you'll see that I do a lot of that. But my marketing is basically towards individuals that want to start their business and want to have good credit in order to leverage and, you know, have good credit, personal and good business credit. So, I mean, everybody has their own um, categories, and so there's enough business for everyone.
Yeah, and guys, there's not going to be one perfect program to use, because I've tried several different posting ones. I've had Hootsuite. I've had a bunch of different ones. You got to find one that works for you, one that you're going to actually stick with, one that's actually going to fit your needs and your pockets. Because some people may be able to pay $200 a year up front, $300 a year up front. You may not be able to do that. You may be doing the $9.99 right now, or even the free, until you figure out if this is going to work. Is this going to post to where I need to? My biggest thing is it mobile? Because I'm not in front of my laptop, and anything where I have to go to consistently be on my laptop to post stuff is annoying. And I liked Hello Woofy mainly because when I got on it, it was kind of launching still. So I was able to pay a one-time lifetime fee.
Oh, nice.
Because it was still early on. So I paid a very low fee, and I like Hello Woofy. It does need some things that needs to be changed, but between Hello Woofy, I use another system because sometimes I can't write right. I use something called AnyWord that helps me organize my words to make it sound a little bit more professional. And guys, I'm going to tell you, some of your posts that I see on Facebook, you need help with some of the things and the way you're saying things. But it's just something that I use to redo like my posts, or if I want to rewrite my bio, or even for like Facebook ads and marketing, it helps rewrite and understand what I'm trying to say. It unjumbles it for me. But guys,
let me also add, there's something out there right now that is very popular. You're probably seeing it everywhere. Use it. It's free right now. It's called Chat GPT. It is an AI that it's a website. It's not an app. So you got to go out there, Chat GPT. Go out there, and you can use that for content. So you can ask it a question. You can tell it to write a social media post for you that pertains to travel. It'll do it for you. It's AI is amazing. I'm an IT gal, so I just thought, you know what, Chat GPT is probably something that you guys should look into. There's other areas, yes, OpenAI. One other thing I wanted to mention before we go is when you're doing your marketing, it's also very important that those of you that do have people that have already used you for travel, their reviews are so important. Ask them if you could use their reels. Ask them if you could use their pictures. Put them together. Create a reel. Throw it out there. Show people that there are people already having vacations, having fun with your product. So just gather that type of information and put it out there. I mean, people love to see people having fun.
yes.
So, mhm.
Well, guys, I think we may have overwhelmed you, given you a whole lot of information. There's a whole lot of links inside of the chat that you can go back through, click on the links, get the information. Make sure you send your information if you have questions. I do ask when you email her, please let her know where you live so she can actually give you the correct information, and be very detailed in your emails. Because I know, as somebody who does coaching and everything, I really don't like when you get those emails and they ask you like a real short question and you're like, okay, I need background. Like, who are you? Where are you from? What are you talking about? And they just say, oh, I need a business plan. For what? Like, what are we doing? So I think you've helped a lot of people out. They seem very happy. I see a lot of awesomes and wow, that's great. Somebody said they need help, which is actually Mr. Crawford. He'll definitely be getting in contact with you. But yeah, all the links that she mentioned are actually in the chat. Everything that she went, I went and Googled it and found it. So you have to do is just go through the chat again, get all the links. And guys, that is going to conclude our business credit. We touched on LLCs. We touched on EINs. We've touched on so many different things, but the favorite thing that I'm gonna start saying is she has your business in a box. You just need to contact her and she'll put all the tools that you need in the box to get your business off the ground the right way. Guys, it's okay if you haven't done it correctly, because apparently I missed a couple of steps. Some of you are going to be ahead. Some of you is going to be behind. But guess what? There's no rush. There's no race. You're not competing with anybody. If you're still in the research stage, because I know some of you guys are new business owners, just research right now, get your information together, get everything in order. So when you're ready to plunge, you have everything lined up and you don't plunge and start drowning. So with that, I'm going to let everybody go. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and let's make this week powerful. All right, guys, talk to you later.